The myth about the creation of the land of Goa is in a sense metaphorical. It depicts how hands put together can craft an immense creation that can generate cultural diversities with man as its focus. The myth says that the great sage Parshuram, with his divine power, caused the oceans to recede. Fertile land was formed up to the point where his arrow fell into the sea. As the composition of Goa and its landscape unfolds in front of us, realization dawns of the true meaning behind the myth of sage Parshuram. The Khazan land, developed in the creeks of the rivers of Goa, tells us the story of human hands, hands which work hard, shape culture, music, dance, and various other art forms become an integral aspect of that culture. In the latter Vedic period, 1000 BC to 500 BC, when the Hindu epic Mahabharata was written, Goa has been referred to with the Sanskrit name Gomantak, a word with many meanings, mostly signifying a fertile land.
The Goa's tribal community, known as Kulmi, are considered as earliest dwellers to this land. This community is well conversant with preparing number of household items. Today we call it as craft work, but it is prepared as utensils for their daily work.
The early history of Goa is divided into three eras: the Hindu era, 2nd century AD to 14th century AD; the Muslim era, 14th century AD to 15th century AD; and the Portuguese era, 16th century AD to 19th century AD. The influence of these periods can be distinctly perceived through the various art forms existing around us. The artifacts of Goa are a true sign of the blend of all these influences, which have given it a unique character. It can be thus said that art virtually runs in Goa's blood. Goan handicraft prominently includes creative pottery, shell work, furniture, brass work, and bamboo work. Other important crafts of the state are crochet and embroidery, batik painting, stone carving, coconut shell carving, cotton dolls, and acrylic fiber. These items are crafted by professional artisans in their ethnic environment, and also by artisans working in government-sponsored crafts workshops. The art and craft of Goa is the product of the aesthetic blend of Portuguese and Indian cultures. The artifacts of the state are intricate and beautiful, capturing the fancy of tourists and locals alike. These artifacts can be best described as a reflection of Goa's perennial glory and beauty, and they have carved a niche for themselves by winning critical acclaim from the connoisseurs of the art world. Every piece of art passes through proficient hand, and though the method of assembly of every artifact is different, the passion and involvement of every artisan is identical. Every hand possesses the same magical touch. Brass is an age-old metal. In Goa, this metal has been in use for centuries. For generations, families have traditionally used brass to create wonderful pieces of art. Brass reflects the purity of a shrine, and it also gracefully enhances a house. The metal is first melted in a furnace, and then it is molded into various artistic forms. Today, these traditionally crafted brass artifacts have made their mark in foreign markets. The great skill required to produce this art form is possessed by many artisans who have been traditionally working on brass. The most famous handicraft of Goa, the samai, a tree-like oil lamp with flower motifs, is looked upon as a specialty of the state. It is a prized souvenir among the tourists. Without the help of modern technology, this generation's old art form of shaping brass has surprised many with its sheer simplicity and beauty. These elegant artifacts reflect the good taste of the buyer. Terracotta is one of the oldest art forms of Goa. Earthenware was an integral part of Goan houses. Other useful household articles were also crafted by this art. Today, terracotta pottery has maintained its traditional as well as commercial value. The process of making these beautiful terracotta art pieces begins with the pounding of the clay. The pounded clay is mixed with water to form a homogeneous mixture. It is then sieved and the coarse clay is separated. The refined clay is then kneaded thoroughly by using feet. The whole creative process of forming beautiful shapes on the wheel with skilled hands gives joy to the potter. To behold the gradual turning of the clay into interesting artistic forms is a wonderful experience. At times like these, one can't help but imagine the hands of the potter resembling those of the Creator. Once the molded artwork is dry, it is given finishing touches. Later, these art forms are heated in a furnace. After being fired at the right temperatures, they are ready for use. Some articles are handcrafted and made without the use of molds. Certainly, these art forms are aesthetically more valuable and give a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment to the artist. Like terracotta art, bamboo craft is also one of the older arts practiced in Goa. Bamboo makes its presence felt in a house by providing functional utility in the kitchen. Bamboo is also used to adorn and decorate houses. Artisans who create such memorable artifacts from simple materials like the bamboo have inherited this art, which has been handed down through generations. Bamboo strips are taken from a particular type of bamboo, which are later chipped and manipulated to make various articles. The bamboo strips are initially dipped in a boiling dye to stain them with the desired colors. The durability of bamboo and its extensive use to make articles of adornment has made this craft a source of livelihood for many. The introduction of other materials along with bamboo has ushered in a new dimension to the craft, which is gaining popularity. Articles made from bamboo range from a simple hair clip to a replica of the Taj Mahal. The ever-increasing demand for bamboo craft has provided opportunity and freedom to the artisan to be more creative and productive. Goa is the land of coconuts. The coconut tree is also known as Kalpavruksha, meaning the provider of everything. The Goan craftsman brings this meaning to reality. Every part of the coconut tree can be utilized. The unconventional creativity of coconut shell craft has a subliminal effect of being close to nature and godliness. Look at the amazing works of art created with the mere use of the coconut shell. While creating these articles, craftsmen have to work carefully and skillfully. A seasoned craftsman brings out the hidden captivating beauty. The skills of the creator are beautifully presented through the elegance and simplicity of the artworks. Though this intricate work of art is time-consuming, it is done with perfection and expertise. It may be hard to believe, but these craftsmen have designed several instruments on their own to express their imagination and creativity and bring to life these works of art. The variety of instruments used by different craftsmen helps to create varied forms. This art has successfully retained its commercial value as well. The best example of this are coconut bottles, which have a strong demand in the market. Coconut shell jewelry, creatively designed by Goan craftsmen, has been used by well-known dress designers and has gained popularity through exposure in foreign magazines. Although the innocuous coconut is a part of our everyday lives, in the hands of a skilled artisan, it can take on a whole new avatar, which changes perceptions about a coconut. Beautiful Goan beaches are a source of treasure to seashell craftsmen. This beautiful seashell art is one of Goa's exclusive crafts. This is a totally independent form of art, which has unleashed a number of amazing artifacts with the mere use of shells. The creative use of shells has successfully gained status for the craft. Pieces of art are also created making use of other materials along with shells. Lampshades, wall hangings, etc. add charm to the living room. Seashell craft is a source of livelihood for many Goans. These aesthetically brilliant artifacts that seashell craft has produced are definitely praiseworthy. This art is known as Chitari. The art has been in existence for several decades in Goa. This art is now on the decline as the Chitari community is dwindling. Wood is shaped into the desired forms and is then painted using attractive colors to create pieces of art. Toys, household items, and decorative pieces are beautifully crafted from wood and then lacquered. For instance, observe the process of making this low stool. These stools are made out of wooden planks and then painted by hand. The wood turning technique is also an effective method for painting. The use of bright and attractive colors brings life to the artwork. These wooden fruit sets have a strong demand in the market. Wood carved in the shape of various fruit is covered with a peculiar coating. Only when they are completely dry are the articles painted. These artistic creations using fresh, attractive colors are popular with children as well as the adults. Wood has always been a source of comfort in our houses, be it in the form of furniture or the beautiful wood carvings which adorn the house. Goan houses take pride in flaunting these wood carvings on tables and chairs in the living room. Goa is famous for its woodcraft and its dexterous artisans. These exquisite artworks bring a sense of royalty to the living room. Goan woodcraft is easily distinguishable from woodcraft from the rest of the country because of the noticeably prominent Portuguese influence. This art of woodcraft comes alive at the masterly hands of the artisan. It is an art requiring patience, and the results are always fascinating. Though not an original Goan art form, Azulejos comes alive through Goan landscapes and characters. This art form, depicting typical Goan images, is interesting and captivating. The process begins with the dipping of tiles in a particular chemical. Pictures are then painted on the tiles when they are completely dry. The picture is painted in a frame of one or a set of tiles. These painted tiles are heated in a furnace. On heating, the tiles undergo a remarkable change. The colors become permanent and they look amazingly fresh and glossy. Azulejos add alluring beauty to the walls. These paintings are also seen on cups and saucers. The art of batik painting is in some respects a modern art technique which reflects a classic art form due to its rendition. The process of batik painting involves waxing, dyeing and de-waxing several times over, which makes it time-consuming. First, a design is drawn on the cloth. The cloth then undergoes the traditional wax-resist dyeing technique. The final batik product is attractive and eye-catching. The process initially starts with the light colors and ends with the dark colors. This art form is two-dimensional and has features of depth and texture, making the entire fabric an attractive piece of art. Besides all this, Goan sculpture art, which is in a state of revival, is developing beautifully. Artisans are working relentlessly towards rekindling this form of art. Plate painting is one of the newer art forms which is gaining popularity in the market. Today, these various handicrafts are well supported and encouraged by Goa Handicraft Rural and Small Scale Industries Development Corporation Limited, GHRSSIDC, a Government of Goa undertaking which was set up in October 1980. Its main objective is to encourage, promote and market a myriad of handicrafts by making them available through various outlets. Shilpagram is GHRSSIDC's upcoming plan, which intends to provide a platform and a wider market to craftsmen. GHRSSIDC is progressing towards empowering Goan artisans and providing them access to local and international markets. The work of Goan artisans is being exhibited at various handicraft exhibitions held all over the world.
Handicraft department is working, doing a lot of work for the upliftment of the Goan artisans. Various exhibitions have been conducted and are conducted all over Goa, over India and abroad also. And now we are very happy to know that we are receiving so many orders from abroad, which our artisans have to do it with new ideas.
New horizons are opening up, and it is certain that under the able leadership and guidance of Goa Handicraft Rural and Small Scale Industries Development Corporation Limited, Goan handicrafts will undoubtedly gain in stature in the near future.